Hello, my name is Nina. Welcome to my channel. This video is all about my journal. I really wanted to talk to you about what I put in my journal, but more specifically, how I made journaling a habit that I can stick to. I used to journal as a kid and as a teenager. I used to always have notebooks that I was filling constantly. But when I went to art school, that kind of stopped. I really felt the need to make very significant art when I was in art school. I felt like everything that I made had to be like very good and had to have a purpose. So I kind of fell off the journaling wagon. It took me quite a while to get back into the habit, but I have, and I really want to talk to you about how and why. In this video, I will show you some of my favorite journaling pages. I will show you some of the materials I use, and I will tell you about why journaling is so important to me and why I think everybody should be doing it. So this is my journal. As you can see, it is very thick. And in this journal, I put every single thing that you would want to put in a notebook. In the past, I have had notebooks for various different reasons. I have had notebooks just to write in. I've had art journals where everything in it had to be like painted or drawn or like actual art pieces. I've had bullet journals for to-do lists. I have had so many notebooks, and I always felt like everything really had to be separated, that everything needed its own place. But once I started putting everything in one notebook, it became so much easier to keep the habit of journaling. So in this journal, there is to-do lists, there is collages, there is scraps from receipts or business cards or other things that I've collected. There's drawings, there's paintings, there's just so many things. There's just pages of me writing. Anything and everything that I want to put down on paper is in this notebook. So now that I've said that, I really wanted to show you some of my favorite pages. Like I said, this journal is a collection of a million different things. I love putting in little scraps I collect throughout the week or adding small drawings to remember specific things. Some pages are more like art pieces, where I sit down and I spend a couple of hours on one page, drawing or painting one thing. But most pages are collections of little doodles, things I've pasted in, and me writing down what I did that day. This journal is very imperfect. It has unfinished pages, drawings that I hate, marks where water leaked or I dropped my pen or touched the pages with paint-stained hands. But that is not the point. This journal is a place where the imperfections are embraced. Or at least, I am trying to let it be that place. Now that you've seen a little bit of the inside of my journal, I wanted to talk a little bit about the materials I use. The most important material I use for my journal is just anything I can collect. Receipts, cards people send me, wrapping paper or packaging from something I've bought, magazines I can cut things out of. I keep all of these things in a little pocket at the back of my journal. Besides this, I love using stickers and postcards that I can buy. I also keep the envelopes to hide things in. I have notepads, washi tapes, and just basic colored paper. For pens, I mostly use fine liners from any brand. I love Tombow markers, Posca pens, and these Copic markers my dad got literally 30 years ago and still work. But I also just use whatever I can find in the bottom of my bag or in my desk drawer. For paints, I use this crusty old gouache palette and these Van Gogh watercolors. The point is, you can do this type of journaling with any and all materials. You don't need specific, expensive things, just use whatever you have in your house and whatever you can collect. It all works, I promise. So during the week, I tried to film a few moments of me actually using my journal. I started filming on Friday, when I used this thread to do some mindless doodling while I was working in a coffee shop. These pages take a long time to finish, but it is so nice to have something to do with your hands while I think. On Monday, I started the day with making a to-do list on a separate piece of paper and pasting it into my journal. I added some flowers and a little frame. This way of making a to-do list takes a little bit longer than just jotting something down, but I really enjoyed the process. Later in the week, I was cleaning out my bag and I found these stickers I got from my tattoo artist a few weeks ago. I thought they fit the vibe and I added them in. I filled in the blanks with just a bit of writing about my week. That Friday, I sat down to make a full spread in one go. I don't do this super often, and when I do, it is usually planned evenings with friends, but for this video I wanted to film a bit of this process as well. For me, journaling is a way to keep my creativity alive. Having a place where you can make anything without it having to be good or pretty or meaningful allows me to experiment and come up with ideas for bigger art pieces I want to make. It helps me empty my head, it helps me remember things I did in my life, and I just really enjoy doing it. The habit of journaling really stuck with me when I let go of any rules. I start each new notebook with a page that I completely destroy, just so I can let go of the idea that everything in the journal has to be pretty. When I allow this to be a place for grocery lists, ugly drawings, little notes to myself of things I have to remember, I make my journal a place that I actively use. It is always in my bag, and there's rarely a day where I don't add at least one thing. But there's also rarely a day where I add something that I don't make at least a little bit pretty. A to-do list becomes not just a list of words, but a piece of paper with a cute banner and some flowers. A grocery list will have little drawings of each item instead of just writing them down. These things are small ways to make creativity a more active part of your life instead of just sitting down to make a drawing that has to be perfect. So my main tips are these. Have your journal with you at all times. Collect any scraps you can find and add them in, and put every single thing you would put down on paper in your journal. So that was a little look inside my journal and my journaling process, and talking about why I journal and why this is so important to me. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, you can subscribe. Please leave a comment telling me if you journal, and if you do, what your favorite way of journaling is, what are your favorite spreads to make, what materials do you use, and what makes journaling so important to you. I really hope you enjoyed today's video, and hopefully I will see you in the next one. Bye!